welcome to another RCA Fundamentals bite-sized video from the team at What Caused This. Today I'm going to be talking to you about a topic that we describe as cause types. In the world of root cause analysis, in the world of visual analysis, we look at how different causes interact with one another, and we recognise there are two distinctly different types of causes. And I'm going to use an example that I'm sharing with you on the screen here today to demonstrate as clearly as I can what those cause types are. You'll see there's a simple cause and effect chart that I'm sharing with you on the screen. We've got a focal point of a spilled water event, spilled water all over a desk. And the causes of that were that I knocked a bottle over, that bottle had water inside it, and there was no lid on that bottle at the time when I knocked it over. Those are our three initial causes. If you look closely at those three causes, you'll recognise that actually there's two different categories of cause at play there. The first category is best recognised by cause number one, that I knocked the bottle over, because that's what we might call a dynamic cause. It's a cause that involved some action, a point of change. The other two causes didn't involve action or points of change. They're better described as static causes or conditions. The condition of the bottle was that it had water in it and it had no lid on it. So one of those causes, the first is an action and the other two are conditions, but all three are causes. It's really important that we recognise that most events are a combination of those two different types of causes. So I'm going to use our Show Me tool in the What Caused This software to make that a bit clearer for you now. So we can see now that we've got the dynamic causes and the static causes working together. And I'm going to build that chart out and have a look a little more deeply and see how that repeats itself. If we look at the cause of the bottle being knocked over, we can see here that, again, that static and dynamic relationship repeats. Static cause of bottle stood on the desk and the dynamic cause of me reaching for a phone. Why was I reaching for the phone? Well, that can be explained by the fact that the phone started to ring, which is a dynamic cause, and of course that I had a requirement to answer the phone. That's a static cause, that's another condition. And on our lowest branch here, of there being no lid on the bottle, once again that dynamic and static relationship repeats. There's no lid on the bottle because the lid was thrown away. Clearly that's an action. And the static cause is there was no other closure available. That's a condition of the environment. There was nothing else to close that bottle with. So in this simple example, we can see that relationship between static and dynamic causes repeating over and over again. And that's such a valuable lesson to learn because it helps us build charts out. It takes us out of the linear. And of course, the other thing it does is it helps reveal causes that are very often hidden. Static causes aren't always as obvious as the dynamic ones. They don't involve motion, they don't involve action, they don't often involve humans. So they can be a little bit invisible, they can be ignored. And we ignore them at our peril because, as you can see from this simple chart here, that there's just as much chance of applying solutions to static causes as there are dynamic ones. In fact, arguably, solutions applied to static causes are more powerful and are more enduring because often their system changes and their equipment changes and their process changes rather than behavioural changes. And by that sense, if we improve the system or the process or the equipment, it doesn't just help a single individual, it often helps all of us. So I hope you found that really useful. It's such a powerful understanding to have because it really helps you build out those charts and get away from that sort of linear five whys trap that many of us fall into. Anyway, thank you very much for that. If you've any questions or comments, drop them in below and we will do our best to answer them as we always do. See you on the next video.